Good morning, everybody. I think it's a good morning, Craig. Because we could call it Good Morning with our cup of coffee with Craig and Derek. I don't know. kind of. Craig and I were talking about doing this a little while ago, just kind of having spontaneous shows in the morning. Some mornings, whatever, when we have a chance or whatever. Maybe you guys are driving to work or already at work. And just don't say nothing to your boss man or boss woman. Just kind of listen to the show on your earbuds there, and that way you don't have to worry about, kill time before lunchtime. At any rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have chat open if you guys are, by your monitor or whatever, or if you want to call in at 352-504-4170 and just something a little different. Craig and I are trying, Craig and I talk, in the morning sometimes or whatever, just over a cup of coffee and about what's going on and, what we've seen on, YouTube, Facebook, what have you, about metal detecting, bottle hunting. Doesn't matter. For those of you that haven't maybe tuned into the show before, we primarily, talk metal detecting and treasure hunting and stuff like that. But, this show kind of leads on its own path. We never know which way it's going to go, and it makes it kind of interesting and spontaneous, and, it's kind of worked for us over the years. So, but, Craig, I was looking online this morning, a couple new faces there on as far as followers go of the show and stuff, and actually, I figured out a way I can actually get on to these Facebook pages and stuff and kind of just look through and everything. I'm actually on Hardcore Metal Detecting Radio, and Craig's been running that for, Craig, what, couple of years now, right? Something like that.
We were doing it for it was basically Bliss Tool America site, to push the Bliss Tool detectors, and then decided to keep it going after we stopped doing that. And I decided, well, why not? We both kind of decided, why not, change it over to a hardcore metal detecting, to go with the podcast. And we're up over 2,300 and some likes and about 360 some followers. So
moving right up there.
Yeah, and like I'm looking at a mem right now I put up, and it's got it's 3,206 people reached, and it's got 40 likes, and one comment and 7 shares. But it shows a guy in a coma in the hospital, laying there with his eyes closed. And the first picture says, "Wake up, come on, snap out of it." And the second picture says, "Please, if you can hear my voice." And it says, "No use, he's in a deep coma." And then the third picture says, "Let's sell his dais." In the fourth picture, his eyes are open and he's awake.
Yeah, I saw that one. My wife even said that. Yeah, that's you guys for sure.
It is funny. This woman named Joelle commented and said, "That would be my husband."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But let's see. There's another one I'll put up that says, "Thank goodness it's raining again." It shows a bunch of mud, and it says, "My mud was getting dehydrated."
Yeah, I saw that one. I like that.
So that's kind of funny, because we've been having like record rains the last year up here in Frederick County, Virginia, and I guess most of Virginia's been having, from what I hear, a lot of people were telling me, it's raining all over the place, and if it's raining down in Southern Virginia, be talking to somebody and they say, "Oh, it looks like it's coming up your way," and then it seems like about maybe 6 or 8 hours later, here it comes. And then the other one I put up the other day, it shows an Equinox and a Go Find detector, and it says, this little kid asks, "Dad, can metal detecting make you a millionaire?" And the dad says, "Yes, son, if you're a billionaire."
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's like, people that are, into hardcore metal detecting usually don't have just one detector. It's
right.
like,
we have a whole slew of them, usually a whole arsenal.
We have a whole arsenal. And I've owned 47 machines over the years, and I think I got right now I got about 6. But
they're habit forming, folks. It's an addiction.
Yeah,
can't help. It's a good addiction, though.
I know a lot of people that have kept all their detectors over the years that they've had, and at first I did that, but I started just saying, I looked, when I switched to a new detector, after a while, I suddenly looked, I said, wait a minute, that other detector I used to use is, it's getting lonely. And so I thought, man, I'm not really going to be using that detector anymore. I don't see any reason to keep it, So I started looking around and, selling the last detectors I sold. I got rid of the Nautiluses, and I had traded them for 4 entrenching shovels, which are hard to get. Mm-hmm. And one machine was working, and the other one was probably needed a coil tune-up. And there's a guy that still does that for the machines, but they haven't been making them for a long time.
Yeah.
There's rumors that they may, there's a rumors that this guy Wayne might start making the machines themselves, but I haven't seen anything on it. But I know on like Fine Mall, they don't have a Nautilus for them anymore. And I think they might have gotten rid of the Tesoro one. They changed the Tesoro one to dig and beep, and they thought that was real funny. And I just they don't want Tesoro on there. They don't want Nautilus. These old machines. They just want the new ones, and I can see that in a way. But it is kind of. I mean, if they've had it on there for all these years, why not keep it on there? I don't see what the big deal is.
Archive information, right? I mean, it's because people still use these machines. I mean, they're still good machines. They're just not the brand new ones. And you were talking about. Go ahead.
There's a whole bunch of people that love Tesoro, and I did very well with those machines over the years, and I probably had more Tesoros than any other machines, combined.
Right.
I had probably at least 20. And I did very good with those machines. They were, they had a lifetime warranty, which the company's out of business now, and they actually have sold their location. Mm-hmm. And it was hard to find out information, but it's been going on for about 6 or 8 months, maybe a year. But they did go and work on the warranties while they were closed,
right?
And people were sending, getting warranty stuff done. And I hear that warranty stuff will be done at Technetics. And then there's a guy named Willis that has a company that he has a lot of parts, coils, all kinds of stuff. He can pretty much fix any Tesoro. And so I think that's pretty good. I think he can fix other machines too, but
probably they're not all if he's an electronics guy, yeah, he probably knows the ins and outs of most of them anyway. At least the major problems with them or whatever.
He did. I think Seven had him on Relics radios, so you might look back on some of his older shows, and he was definitely on it because I listened to the show, and it was a good show. And the guy's very knowledgeable. He's a great metal detectorist, and he's found a lot of gold coins and stuff, and kind of reminded me of me, where he digs, digs more junk, but he finds, because of that, you find stuff that other people don't find,
right,
like gold coins, and so. There was some pretty good stories he was telling, about metal detecting, and it's a crazy hobby. It's it's a lot of fun and everything. That you got some people that get too serious. I think I don't care about being an expert. I know a lot about metal detecting. We both do, but some people have to be the expert on everything, and
Right.
I just like getting, I like hearing from everybody and getting new information. And I'm always looking at, the internet, trying to find out, is there some new machine coming out, or coils or,
I just saw a thing here for on. I just happened to be surfing while you were talking, and you mentioned the new metal detectors, and I don't know anything about this, but I saw it on New Age Goonies. Dwight Collin and Brian Robinson, have this Facebook page. Some of you may be, subscribed to or joined it, friended it, whatever. But it's on Facebook called New Age Goonies, and they do everything metal detecting and stuff like that, just like we do. And they have a real nice Facebook page here, and they have video on here, and I can't go to the video obviously to see when this was put out, but it says Metal Detecting Mexico. I tested the new White's Beach Hunter, the new White's TDI Beach Hunter, which I know from, because I used to use White's machines a lot in the past. They had a Beach Hunter and a Beach Hunter ID. This one's a TDI, so they have a pulse machine and TDI, so I guess they made it into a Beach Hunter machine. And, Craig, I don't know anything about it yet, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Some of you guys might want to look at it. Taking that TDI was, I think that's one of their only pulse machines they had.
They have, I've seen people use them for relic hunting, the TDI.
Right.
And
this one has a yellow coil on it, so it's obviously a beach hunting machine. So, but the TDI,
the guys tell me that that machine, relic hunting with it, it's a button machine.
Oh yeah,
it's not like some of the other machines where it's good on everything. This one tends to be set up a little bit differently, where it picks up buttons and stuff, and
buttons, small bullets, and half dimes. I remember. Oh gosh,
I
can't remember her name, but I hunted with him up there digging in Virginia. He was using a TDI, and he did pretty good, even with the original one. But somebody, Craig, this Sean Sergeant Whitley Sherrill is his name. He's posted up on New Age Goonies. He got out for a couple hours after work, and he finds a U.S. belt buckle. So he said there's a bunch of pictures of it on there. Pretty nice one, as far as it's all together and everything. I like shooting around to different guys here, like Mark Hoover's Adventures in History. That's on Facebook. You find a lot of first time posts as far as people finding stuff, new items, and there's tons of Facebook pages dealing with metal detecting and stuff. But one of our other favorites is Don't Tread on Me, and we always try to go there and check out. Don't Tread on Me metal detecting, and it's a group, so you have to kind of, I don't know, Craig, ask for permission or get permission to join or something like that.
It's a closed group.
Yeah.
And
they're pretty funny on there. Dave Ettinger runs that one, and so they always have information on there cutting up with the MIMS and everything too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, MIMS have gotten big in the last couple of years. Really didn't, you saw them, but you really didn't, call them MEMS particularly. But they started like in the politics, where you had all these different MEMS, political politics. But now it's gone to like, I've been posting them on, for metal detecting, and people made some hilarious ones. And we were talking about on the other show about, I posted one of Mark Hoover's pictures that somebody had taken the picture. He took a photo at a Planet Hunt, I think. Mm-hmm. It showed a whole bunch of people in this field metal detecting, and somebody put on there, it said something about when you show what you found at the hunt on Facebook, your coins on Facebook, and I thought it was pretty hilarious, because some people do. I've seen it, and where they show the planet coins that they found, But anyway, I put it up there, and I mean, it was, people were laughing their heads off, commenting, and I got, I don't know, I think it was over 1,000 books. I don't know how many I mean, this thing kept going and going, and it didn't seem to slow down for a week or so. People just kept, and they were sharing like crazy too. It was being shared all over the place.
Yeah.
And then it was a funny one where Mark finally saw the the thing and realized it was his picture.
Jeez. I was just happy.
And he was going, and he, this thing, it was like, we call it viral, for metal detecting, it was going viral, because it was being shared and, looked at so much. But, and then, what was it? David Edinger put a picture and superimposed it on the picture of Mark Hoover's face. And then there was another one where, there was somebody that was doing something funny metal detecting, and there was an older guy or something, and so David Edinger put his face on, put Mark's face on this guy's face.
Oh, jeez.
So I thought that's a pretty funny way to do it. People are coming up with all kinds of different, funny memes, and they seem to, get shared a lot. Somebody will laugh at it and then they'll share it to all their friends.
Yeah.
So it takes off, But
yeah, I was over here on the Ohio Relic Hunters Facebook page. Bill Marsh, they're just kind of panning down through there, and he always lets everybody post up the radio shows like Lloyd, the Relics Radio and Beyond Sight and Sound with Josh Kimmel, and people posting finds and hunts and stuff. And I happened to go down through here, Craig. You have to check it out. Josh Kimmel put a post up in June 19th, and actually it's Beyond Sight and Sound, or metal detecting Beyond Sight and Sound picture, of his radio show icon or avatar, and next to it is a picture of his studio or whatever. I call it a studio, with all his soundboard. Man, I tell you what, Josh, you're really getting stuff together, brother. He has all kinds of equipment, big soundboard and everything else. But he's, we like to keep ours mobile, and that's what we pretty much came up with and everything. But Josh has a really nice system. I know he's worked hard on that thing, and of course Loy from Relics Radio does a real good job too. Man, he has everything. They have it all figured out, and they've been doing this for a long time. It just with me, I just like to keep it simple because I don't know, too much stuff to keep up with takes the fun out of it for me. But these, so we try to make do. So
it's when you got a system like that and something happens, it's harder to get back up.
Yeah. But I was surprised about that because I don't remember Josh as being that. He must have just got that board. It's a big board too, man. It looks pretty cool. It's new toys, Craig. New toys. It's like
I was talking to a guy that I've known since I guess he was about 14, and I met him at a tennis camp, and he's really good in music and plays a lot of instruments, but he's mainly a drummer, and he's into jazz and stuff. So he ended up getting a master's degree in music, and so next thing I saw, he's on Instagram, and he's got a band, and he actually was doing songs, and he did an album, and he got I think he got album of the month or something for jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his songs did really good, and so he came by the other day, and I hadn't seen him in a while. He's probably about 30 years old now, and
that's when I was on the phone with you when he knocked on the door. Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah. So anyway, I was telling him, I said I was talking, to my friend Derek, and about we do this podcast, and we were thinking about. I said we're doing 2 a week, and we're thinking about doing some morning ones and stuff, maybe shorter ones. And so he said, "Oh, really?" He said, "That's pretty cool." And I said, "Do you podcast?" And he goes, "Well, I listen to a lot of them." He said, "I actually have a podcast, but I only have one thing on it, And so I said, "Well, we got like 24,000, followers," and I said, "We just monetized." And I said, I've been, kind of pushing for monetization because I think, everybody else was doing it. And then, I think, I was pretty sure that Spreaker would start pushing us. And I said, what happened was amazing. They pushed us to all these other platforms like iHeartRadio and what was it, Clearcast,
Spotify. We're on a lot of them
we're
right
on
now, which is nice.
So we're on
some that I wouldn't normally. Well, I didn't even know about a lot of those. As far as
we didn't either, but when you think about it, it's a business, and Spreaker wants to make money off the advertisements, and
right.
So do we. So they're going to push us, and it was like 300 downloads in one day was like super for us, and
right.
we got 900 several times and 1,200. So I'm like, God, that's unbelievable. So I was telling my friend, I said, we got 1,200 downloads in one day, and he's like, what? He thought like 100 was pretty good.
Well, I still think 100 is pretty good, but yeah, that 1,200 one blew my mind.
Yeah, but I said, already we can see that this thing is jumping because we're on all these other platforms. And the other thing is about 57% of people listen to the podcasts in their car on the to and from work.
Right.
And the biggest jump of the biggest listening audience is Monday morning going to work. And I thought that was, and that's what, a couple years ago, we've been doing this podcasting for a while, and, I when I was at the tennis camp, I, basically went around and, started taking like my own survey, and asking kids and some of the counselors that, that were in there, probably, they were, college students or, into the late 20s, and they worked there during the summer, and I got to know them. Some of them I'd known since they were kids, and some of them have even gotten them jobs there.
Yeah. Sorry about the feedback, guys. I got a delivery coming in, but yeah. Now we got phone ringing now too. Now that one's just a telemarketer, but yeah, I got her.
But anyway,
coming in.
I told him, I said, you ought to. I said, man, you ought to start putting out more stuff on your podcast. It really, pushes, people, or, want to listen to stuff, especially unique.
Well, and, spontaneous kind
interesting
of
things.
Yeah.
But he was like, saying that they've got another song coming out, and they'll probably put that on, once they get it going. But he plays like in little clubs and stuff in Alexandria and different things. But he didn't really know that how big, and how many platforms this podcasting's gone to.
Right.
There's a lot of advertising that's being tied into this, and some of the podcasts got millions of people listening to the shows. So it's getting bigger and bigger. It's growing exponentially to the point where it's disrupting regular radio.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to I think it's DC 101. I think is it used to be a rock, basically a rock, and then over the years it kind of changed, but it has fairly decent music, but all the music comes from iHeart. It doesn't come from a regular catalog anymore. So they got their it's kind of wild that that FM radio is kind of devolved down to the point where they got a catalog they got to go through off of iHeart. So
right.
It took us a few weeks, I guess, to get iHeart, but
yeah, they kind of go through and listen to the show, make sure it's not family friendly, but you don't have any kind of probably cursing or anything like that. They had to. It's pretty good though. I'm glad they listened to it.
Yeah, and it's we got content is king. We if you got good content, people are going to listen to you. And I've had a lot of people mention on my YouTube channel that they listen to us, but they don't listen to us live. It's in their cars on the way to work. Like a lot of people have and some people have family obligations, or they're eating dinner at that time or whatever, when we do it. So I can see that. And that's the thing about podcasting. It's not like regular radio used to be, where you had to, or TV, where you had to watch at a certain time, otherwise you missed the show and you never saw it, back in the old days, unless years later they started doing reruns or something. But now it's like you don't have to worry about a schedule. You just listen to it whenever.
Right, exactly.
So we're getting, the listening audience doesn't seem to be that big a deal. It's the downloads that we get.
That's the way I looked at it from the beginning.
That's what's pushing it. Yeah.
Right. I was even looking over here at, Barb McConnell. She's usually listens to our show and everything, and on chat and everything. I just went over to her Facebook page, and she posts up. It's called Dirt Pirate Detecting on Facebook there, and I guess she went out to the beach there. It looks like, I don't know if it's her son or nephew or whatever, a young man right there. They were out detecting on the beach with the equinox, and he said it's a beast on the beach. Most of their targets were 8 to 12 inches down. Looks like she got, from what I could see, a lot of clad. I mean, probably, I don't know, $3-4 in clad, all kinds of fishing weights and stuff like that, which is always a good sign, Craig. If you're digging sinkers, that's where the gold lies. So if there was any gold in that area, they probably would have found it. But they didn't look like they found any gold, but looked like they had a pretty fun day out. And she has, let's see, Kelly Noller put up a video. XP Deus, I guess X2, getting its pearl, multiple silvers, and some, then some, co-starring Terry Winnie, I guess, Wynnne. I'm horrible with last names, guys, so I don't mean to butcher it if I do, but yeah, Barb has a great little Facebook page here. She has patches and all this stuff. It has pretty cool. I don't know if it's a meme, but Dirt Pirate Detecting, Surrender the Booty, Find of the Month, so I always try to go through like stuff and everything. I don't know what Mark Hoover's got going on. Let me see Adventures in History. There we go. Just kind of scooting. This is what me and Craig do a lot of times in the morning. Sit down with a cup of coffee, go through and check out what's going on everybody's Facebook page or YouTube channels. Usually we'll go through and watch the videos if they have them or whatever. But of course on the show here and everything, Mark puts out it's just like it says, Adventures in History. It deals with a lot of biographies, and he does put metal detecting stuff up on there. A lot of photos he's taken, but it's interesting old maps. Matter of fact, he has an old I guess Dorian Cook put up a picture of a Craig. It's a revolver, but it's also, the handle is like a brass knuckles, and there's a knife point in the front like a bayonet. No trigger guard, and and there's no barrel on the gun. It's just a cylinder. I guess you could punch, stab, and shoot. And I'm like, okay, great. That looks like it's from the 1800s. Like you'd carry it in a gambling or a poker game or something like that. But they have a lot of neat photos on there. Patrick, here we go, Craig. Patrick Yaniton put up pictures that looks like the old Spanish fleet ships. I mean, I know it's not from there, but I mean, nice photos of them. I'm not sure where those were taken. Just you can see what everybody's finding and stuff like that. Here's a young man here, Frank Kroon, and his daughter. She looks like it may be a Quest detector. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's a photo of them up on there. I think they have a Facebook page too. It just, if you haven't really skated around and kind of looked around on Facebook lately, tons of metal detecting sites or pages, private groups, closed groups, everything else. As a matter of fact, there was one even giving away a detector. I saw it on our page actually. Craig, was that I'm going to it right now, but
Yeah, I put it
on
up the other
Instagram.
day that they're doing a thing with a gold monster, which I think is a pulse machine at
Yeah, it's
Fine Lab. They're doing a giveaway,
yeah, Gold
and it's
Sweeper.
pretty.
Yeah, that's Gold Sweeper on Instagram. It's
Mhm.
Mind Lab metal detectors. Looks. I've never used one of those. That was the strange looking one. But I mean, the way it's set up in the front, but it looks like the battery and stuff are all up in the front of the where the control box is. Is that that's a pulse machine though, right? It looks like it is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it has almost like the 6x9 coil on it. Maybe it's a little bit bigger than that. Oval coil. It's a double. Well, I don't know if you consider it a double D, but it looks like a double D coil. I'm not sure. You know, Craig, I don't use pulse. Do they run what we consider a double D coil or a concentric coil? How's the pattern on the coils?
I'm not really sure.
That's a good one for Dennis. We'll have to give Dennis a call and ask him because I'm really, I'm clueless about pulse. I've never really got into pulse detectors.
I don't even know if you actually ground balance the machine or not. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Imagine you might, but
oh yeah, yeah. I'm not sure how the sweep path is.
Yeah, I saw, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. I saw a photo of a new Fisher machine, and they were claiming that it was a whole new concept, and it was going to be discriminating pulse machine.
Yeah.
And it seems like when we started trying to get information, all of a sudden they took it down.
Yeah,
they were actually talking about. Well, they were talking about releasing it, and they had almost like a time period that they were going to probably release it, and then all of a sudden they said it. I guess they're going back to the drawing board or something on it. I don't know, but I was kind of disappointing. I was like, that would be cool if you could, have a discriminating pulse machine. I mean,
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that would change everything.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff going on Facebook and stuff. And Craig and I wanted to keep these shows kind of short, just kind of what we're talking about, what we're seeing, and help, kind of throwing some Facebook pages and YouTube channels out there, and maybe stuff you guys might want to check out. I see Bob D's on. Oh, go ahead, Craig.
If you guys have any topics you want us to talk about or something, maybe go on the Hardcore, Facebook page and give us a shout there on what you might like us to talk about. And I'm always looking to see if there's new products coming out or something new in metal detecting. That's kind of a daily thing I do.
Yeah.
And same with the YouTube channels. I'm always trying to keep up with them, and so I got so many YouTube channels I watch. It's really cool. It's I spend hours probably watching all these guys' channels, and it's a lot of good content on.
Yeah, Bob D got on chat. He goes, "Hey, this isn't Thursday or Saturday, or is it?" And he puts on break over, back to work, and catch you on the archives. And that's what it's all about, guys. We're wanting to try to do this a little bit earlier, and I unfortunately was up probably until midnight last night, 1 o'clock, and I get that insomnia sometimes. But I woke up this morning. I'm like, oh shoot, wait a minute, I want to do a show, but it was already after 9 o'clock. But we'll just throw them up there whenever. And I know you guys usually catch a lot of stuff on the archives and download it and listen to it on the way to work or something like that. And when we have a chance during the week, we'll do a few of these. Let us know if you like them or whatever. But Craig, we're probably going to wrap this one up because I really don't want to keep them too long. A little half an hour here, half an hour there.
Well, it's the first one, so we decided to try it today, and I think we're going to keep it up. But I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and be sure to follow and like the show, and we always try to promote the other metal detecting shows and stuff like that also, because we do the same thing, but everybody has a different format. Their shows follow a different path. Some have a lot more guests, some don't, some whatever. And it's good to promote each other anyways, because it's all content that we enjoy, as far as detectorists, hobbyists, bottle hunters, prospectors, whatever. And we have several of them out there, with Relics Radio and Beyond Sight and Sound, All Metal Mode, American Relic, Roundup, A lot of these are on Spreaker, the formatted for Spreaker.com. Matter of fact, you can get to ours just by putting in hardcoremetaldetecting.com. It'll throw you right into our page on Spreaker. So that's an easy way to get to us, and you can get on to chat real easy. Just click the comment button from the live show, and you can get on chat. A lot of the guys hang out here, guys and gals there, and there's sometimes a whole different conversation going on between the radio show and what they're doing. So me and Craig start getting confused because wait a minute, they made a good point, about something else, and we have to change the topic or whatever because the show kind of just takes a path of its own. So I guess Craig, I'm gonna get me another cup of coffee
we kind of do it a different way than most of the people do, but it seems to work for us.
Oh yeah, I like it. It's fun. As long as it's fun, keep on doing it. But I guess I'm gonna get another cup of coffee, Craig, and deal with the delivery guy. Guys, thanks for listening, and we'll do this again, Craig. This is fun. So I'll talk to you in a while, brother.
All righty.
All right, catch y'all later. Get out there and keep digging. God bless.